Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Listen Up, presented by Dempsey's Grill and Sportsline. Sorry for the getting this video out a little late. Phil unable to join me tonight. Trying to mess with the lighting, putting some things in the background behind me, messing with all this lighting. I'm not I'm not sure how good it looks, to be honest, but trying some new things out here. So just bear with me here tonight. Got some experiments going on, but nonetheless, let's get into this game tonight. Very fun and exciting game tonight for the UConn Huskies women's basketball, and Coach Gino. Some sad, well, it's not sad news, but unfortunate news before the game. Coach Gino missed a second straight game tonight. Chris Daly took over head coaching duties for the fourth time this year. Gino actually went home to Connecticut, and I want to read this quote off because it seems more serious than I think a lot of us thought it would be. Gino said, quote, it's been an extremely difficult month for me, and I've been feeling under the weather and run down. I thought I was ready to return, but I need a little more time. I'm going to take a step back to focus on my health and will return when I feel ready. Now, I think Gino's been feeling under the weather, but I also think that, Gino, the passing of his mother, probably isn't helping the situation either. So, I mean, I can only imagine the pain that he's going through from losing his mother. So, just wishing Gino all the best, and hopefully he can get back out on the court sooner rather than later. But I think UConn's in pretty good hands with associate head coach Chris Daly. Um, AZ Fudd remained out for the eighth straight game tonight, and it was the same starting lineup tonight that we saw against Butler on Tuesday. But with all that said, let's get into the game. And what an ugly first 5 minutes it was. Xavier and UConn were combined 2 of 19 from the floor. Really sloppy play on offense from UConn. Bad passes, shots weren't falling for either team. Way too many turnovers in the first quarter. The positive thing was that UConn is so big and tall down low that they got so many rebounds, second chances. But I have to say, I was impressed after the media timeout. Um, UConn was able to go on a 15-3 run to end the quarter. Much better passing, smart decisions. Aaliyah Edwards and Aubrey Griffin were playing great defense as well. Huskies continued their good play in the second. They got back to their strength, getting the ball inside. Xavier doesn't really have any players to guard Dorka, Aaliyah, or Aubrey for that matter. UConn had much more self-control. They settled down, set plays in the second quarter, and played dominant offense and defense like we're used to seeing. Dorka had 13 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks in the first half, and Aubrey had 17 points. Just superb play from those two. UConn up 47-16 at the half. Leah Edwards actually did not play in the second half due to a foot injury. I imagine she injured it when she stumbled over the two chairs chasing after a loose ball. And I thought it was pretty weird that in that second quarter, she didn't really play that much. And when she was in, she just didn't really seem right. So, hopefully she's okay. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. But that just meant more playing time, a lot more playing time for Ayanna and Amari DeBerry. UConn continued their dominance despite Aaliyah Edwards not being on the court. And the highlight, the highlight to me in that third quarter had to be the buzzer-beating three by Ines Betancourt. A good pass from Amari. Ines just barely got it off before the buzzer, but that just kind of describes UConn's night. They were just having their way, and the players were having fun out there. Final score ended up being 73-37 in favor of UConn. Huskies dominated inside, just like I thought would happen, not only by scoring, but by getting rebounds, second chance points, and their defense was spectacular as well. Made it very difficult for Xavier. Musketeers just shot 21% from the field tonight. I want to go over the individual performances as well, and I'll start off with the player of the game, in my opinion, which was Dorka Juhasz. 18 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks. She dominated in that second quarter. Nobody was big enough to guard her tonight, and UConn gave her looks inside. She took advantage of her size. Great game from Dorka tonight. Aubrey Griffin had quite a game herself. as well. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. Also shot 10 of 11 from the free throw line. I really like how Aubrey was aggressive, driving to the basket. Aubrey is such a talented player. She continues to prove that throughout the season, especially coming off that back surgery. Had to deal with an illness. And it doesn't seem like any of that affected Aubrey at all. Great season from Aubrey Griffin so far. Lou Lopez Seneschal had a quiet 15 points tonight. I feel like when she scores, you don't really realize how many points she has until you start looking at the box score. But a silent assassin, Lou is. UConn's going to need her to keep being a consistent shooter throughout the season. Nika Mule, 9 assists tonight, couple careless passes and turnovers. But nothing she can't fix. Nika is the commander of the offense. Obviously, they're going to need to rely on her to take care of the ball moving forward. Leah Edwards, like I mentioned, did not play in the second half. Chris Daly said she tweaked her ankle on that play, that she did tumble into the chairs trying to save that ball. Great hustle play. Aaliyah Edwards has been hustling, but unfortunately, she did get hurt on that play. So, like I said, hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully she doesn't miss the DePaul game on Sunday. And, because that's the last thing UConn needs is another injury. But the bench players for UConn tonight got a lot of minutes, which was good to see. You can really see the improvement Ines has made throughout the season. She looks up to pace with the flow of the game. Really good game from her tonight. I like what I saw out of Ines tonight. Ayana played good as well. She's still learning. I think she's got a lot of valuable minutes tonight, which should help her throughout the course of the season. And Amari DeBerry picked up a couple fouls early in the third quarter, but after that, she settled down, made some great passes, got a couple baskets, and played tremendous defense as well. I thought very good minutes tonight from Amari. Hopefully she can continue learning, getting better, because she's a really talented player with that 6'5" frame. I believe she has very tall presence inside, great rebounder, great defender. But if she can just fit in more to the offense and just the flow of the game, she's a very talented player. I think it's comments time. I'll go over a couple comments here before I sign off for the night. Let's start with Benny Benson. They go, if Azzi and Caroline aren't back on Sunday, I'm more worried about DePaul than St. John's. Looking forward to see how Aaliyah and Dorka match up against Anissa Morrow. Well, that's certainly, I would agree with that. Anissa Morrow is a very good player for DePaul, that's for sure. And hopefully on Sunday, hopefully Aaliyah Edwards can go, because they're definitely going to need her, not only on the offensive side for her scoring, but on defense for her rebounding, and also just her defense in general and her presence down low to try to guard against Anissa Morrow. She's not able to go. I would assume Dorka Juhasz would probably be on Morrow, but let's just hope and pray it's nothing serious for Aaliyah Edwards' injury. Hopefully Azzi and Caroline can go as well. That would be a tremendous boost to this offense. Certainly Azzi, I mean, she's been warming up with the team the past couple of games, so that's definitely good to see. Not sure if she'll be ready for the game on Sunday, but it would be nice to have Azzi and Caroline, maybe Caroline just a substitute. Probably, I would assume she would come off the bench unless Aaliyah wouldn't play, and then Aubrey would move to the 4, Caroline to the 3. But yeah, hopefully hopefully just everybody can get healthy, right? That's the goal right now for sure. I'll go over one more comment here. Lindsay Matthews goes, some players play basketball and others are basketball players. That includes Griffin and Patterson. Aubrey really has basketball moves. Patterson is going to be one of the best UConn has ever had. Well, I certainly don't disagree, but that's a pretty bold statement, and we don't mind bold statements around here on this podcast. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't disagree. Ayana is a great player. She's a very highly talented player, very highly recruited player. So, yeah, I mean, I just think for Ayana, she can be one of the best, that's for sure. With her size and strength down low, great rebounder, great defender, but it's just she seems so eager. I guess that's just a freshman mentality. She just seems so eager down there. I think it's sometimes she just needs to slow down, make smart decisions. But these past 2 games, Chris Daly has been putting obviously all 3 subs in the game more, which is good to see. But Ayana has been getting good minutes. I think it's a great learning opportunity for her, and she's been playing pretty good. She gets a ton of free throws, which is good. She's such an aggressive player. And just playing her game moving forward, I think is the best for her. But she definitely still has a lot of learning to do, but definitely a very, very talented player. I think that's going to do it for me here tonight. We will be back on Saturday, I believe, for the last check-in for DePaul. UConn heads home after a 2-game road trip, defeating Xavier tonight, of course, defeating Marquette earlier, and defeating Butler the game before that. So 2-game road trip, defeating Butler and Xavier, heading home for DePaul on Sunday. We'll be back on Saturday for the last check-in. But for now, this has been Rye on Listen Up.